What's up everyone, it's Mark. It's been a while since I've done a video. I hope everyone's handling pandemic, lockdown, quarantine, going on day 365. Right now I'm sitting through virtual CES and I have a break in the day. So, it kind of had me thinking about till last year, which is one of the last big events I went to before the lockdown started. There's signs that we might actually be able to travel in the semi-near future. So I wanted to go over some of my favorite travel essentials that are, not only essential to me when I travel, but they're also very cheap. They're all under 50 bucks. This isn't a video going over, travel accessories that were all sent to me by companies for free. I paid for all of these with my own money. I use all of these. So I just wanted to share some of them with you, how I use them and see, if they may make sense for you. So check them out. First travel essential for me, Carabiners. And I know this might seem kind of basic to, most people, but I don't think a lot of people realize how much use that you can get out of these things. I clip these to pretty much all my bags. These things are absolute lifesavers. I can use them as security devices. I can use them to hold my bags and keep them off of bathroom floors, to attach other things to my backpack. And then you can even get the next step up, which is basically a carabiner on steroids, where, this has an actual swivel where you can undo it and basically it just further enhances the amount of uses that you can basically use for a regular carabiner. I've used this from everything from hooking onto a stroller and hanging grocery bags off of it when I'm at the grocery store, to, again, just holding multiple things up off the floor when I'm in the airport. I use these in the back of my car a lot. I'll hook it in the back seat and I can clip backpacks and grocery bags and things like that to stop them from rolling around in the trunk. But there's literally 1,000,001 uses to use for these different clips. These carabiners, if I take my Go Ruck bag, I always have, at least one on the handle. I always keep an extra one and the different MOLLE straps down here. So I always have them available to use at a moment's notice. I use these all the time. I can't speak to the uses of these enough, and I highly suggest you have at least one or two of these with you when you travel. Next is the Eagle Creek Packable Daypack. Now this little pouch has probably been used more than any other piece of travel gear that I have. This is a super, super lightweight, packable day bag, basically. It can hold, a pair of shoes, clothes, towels, all the essentials you need to go to the beach. It's actually surprisingly spacious inside. There's one big main compartment, and then up front there's a zippered pocket with a little key hook that's, semi deep. You definitely hold your phone, wallet, and other things. But this thing, I have used this countless trips. I use it every single flight that I'm on. I typically will put my headphones, my iPad, things like that in here, and I'll have this packed flat within one of my carry-ons, so I can just pull this out and have it with me, and when I put my other bags in the overhead, so I don't have to go back and forth trying to get things up and down. And one of the uses for carabiners, which I always use with this bag, is I basically just take this top strap here, put a carabiner through, and then I can just hook this onto the seat back pocket in front of me, so I have my bag handy. It's not on the floor. I'm not kicking it or shoving it under the seat. It's just hanging there, so I can access, my headphones, my iPad, things like that. Another great use combining these first two travel essentials. Lots of times when I'm on the beach, and I did this all summer, the last time I was in Italy, whenever I have this bag on the beach and I go in the water or something like that, I just take the straps and put them around like our umbrella or something like that. And then I just use the carabiner to hook the straps around the beach umbrella, just a little added layer of security to keep it somewhat secure, so if somebody comes by, they can't just grab the bag and run off. If they do, they're going to rip out the umbrella. It's just an extra step to just add some security to this bag, but it's yet another use for both of these travel essentials, combining them into one. Next, packing cubes. I am one of the biggest fans of packing cubes. I, have pretty much forced my wife to use these, and now she's a convert. I use these on every single trip, even if it's an overnight trip and I just have to bring in a backpack, I still use a packing cube. I have tons of them from Eagle Creek. There's Amazon Basics, there's Toomey. But basically, I can just take one of these, fill it with, I can have my running clothes in one, I can have underwear, shirts and socks in another, I can have t-shirts in another, pants in another, just so I'm super organized. When I get to where I'm going, I can unpack, put things away. And when I'm repacking, I just know where to find everything. I always keep these small ones for, I have a set of walkie-talkies in here and the charger, so I always know where these are. It just makes things a lot more neat and organized, and you can get these anywhere from a few bucks up to like $30 for a set. There's a ton of different brands. Check Amazon. I'll put links in the description for all of these. But definitely check them out. They literally change your life. They make things so much easier than trying to, pack and repack just loose clothing, and just having everything much more neat and nice and organized. Next up is having one of these power bricks from either Encore or Rav Power. I bring these when I travel. This particular one has 6 USB ports on it, so I can put in, my Apple Watch cord charger, my iPhone charger, iPad charger. I can plug in things for my drone and have everything running off of this one box. And what's great is it has this detachable cord, so unlike some of the other ones I have where the prongs are built in to the unit, I don't have to worry about that. I can just run this little 2-prong cord right through and run this to like a nightstand, something like that, and have one unit there to charge everything all at once. And what's great is, especially if I'm traveling overseas, all I need is one little adapter for here to switch it to the European power supply, and I can power all these different units here. These are amazing. I keep one of these in, several bags of mine. About 25, 30 bucks, depending on the brand and the time of year. But there's a ton of them. This one is Anker or Rav Power. I think it's Anker. But there's a ton of different brands of these. You can find them on Amazon. I'll put links to them in the description. But always travel with one of these. I usually keep the cords together with it, an extra set of cables. It just makes life so much easier when you're trying to charge things, especially in hotels where lots of times, the outlets are in weird spots, or, there might be one on the desk, or you have to go digging behind the bed where the lamps are plugged in to find one. This just gives you, 6 charging ports coming off of one outlet. So I love these. Next up, tech pouches. So I have done several videos on my channel reviewing different tech pouches. I have the Air Cable Kit 2, which is a favorite. I have this beast, which is the Peak Design tech pouch, which it's still packed from a trip I just took up to Boston, where, I have an Osmo Action, there's an Osmo Pocket in here, there's microphones, there's cables, there's chargers, there's batteries, there's, mini tripods, there's everything in here at once. Everything's organized. I can just close this up, grab it, and go. These are an absolute must for me. They come in so many different sizes. Here's a little tiny Supreme Hypebeast one if you want to go that route. But there's a ton of different pouches. These are just another thing to keep you fully organized. And I always keep usually 2 of these pretty much ready to go with anything that I need, with like the Anker brick that I just went over and cables. I'll have these all in here, so I don't even need to think about packing anything. I can just grab one of these and go. Now, these might be the most expensive things that I review or I have listed in this video. They range anywhere from, I think the Peak Designs is like 60 or 65. Same thing with the Cable Kit 2. But again, you can just use something like a smaller packing cube as your tech pouch, just to have something to keep all your stuff organized in, where you can just grab and go and not have to worry about it. Okay, so this next one is a little weird. It looks like just a little square of leather, but once you put the snaps together, this little flat piece of leather turns into a mini Valet tray. And while, it seems kind of odd, this is something where, you can just dump your pockets at the end of the day into this cube on your bedside table so you have everything together. This was something I started using when I was going to conferences a lot, you know, like South by Southwest and CES. Like, you go to these things and you come home and your pockets are just filled with so much crap that you're constantly dumping out on the table, and lots of times the important things get kind of hidden by all that stuff. So by keeping, like, you know, something small like this on my bedside table, I know where to put the important things. Everything's in here. I can just grab in the morning when I wake up and be good to go. You know, it's just a little bit of organization. It gives a weird sense of home to a hotel room while you're out. You know, I think this one was maybe 25 bucks. I'm sure you can find them cheaper. You can definitely find them more expensive. Again, I just got it on Amazon, but it's something that I use all the time just to help further keep me organized. Now, I know, you know, nothing in that video was truly revolutionary or groundbreaking, but again, it's just a list of a few things that, you know, I use to help me feel more organized and more comfortable when I travel. Hopefully they help for you. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you really recommend to use as a travel essential, especially if it's a cheap travel essential. That's all I got for today. Thanks.